Zevlor's Sleep Stories. Performed by Glenn Macready.
An Illithid's Encyclopedia of Faerûn Fungi by the Publicius Genius. No sun rises or sets in the Underdark. It is, however, fascinating and of note that the natural phenomena where minerals within the rocks that make our sky twinkle like the stars in the realm above. Bioluminescent genes are embedded in much of the local flora and fauna. Mushrooms in particular have a great many properties like this. They are one of my favorite things, other than perhaps blurg. I study them and collect them. I have many fine specimens, and there are so many kinds. My collection has grown vastly with the help of a local circle of myconids. Their leader, Sovereign Spore, is most gracious in teaching me all I wish to know. Allow me a moment to indulge you in my knowledge on mycology. You never know when it may be of use to you while adventuring. Dragon egg, the mushroom that if you have enough of them can be combined to make ash. This may seem like a waste, but the chemical change that occurs actually assists in making an elixir of fire resistance. Such an elixir can become quite useful when battling a wizard such as myself, as we tend to use a spell called Fireball. I find it very accurate in its description and needs no explanation. Despite its name, blush-cap mushrooms are not capable of blushing. It is merely the red hue of its composition. I am not certain why that is its most distinct feature, as it also has freckles of white as well. Blushcap is certainly not something I would have chosen to name it. Alas, there is no point in changing what is already known. This specimen is specifically used for food and can increase your health when in a difficult situation. It is also an interesting fact to note that this mushroom has been used in many a children's storybook and rhyme. I seem to remember one Blurg had taught me. Haldred Park went into the dark, never to be seen again. Or so they thought, until they did spot a mushroom that looked as rosy as her cheeks. From that day on, though she was gone, a blush-cap seen means you'll see another dawn. Where was I? Ah, yes, mushrooms. If you enjoy something sour, I recommend you eat a bullywug trumpet. It is a joke I've heard to call them an Apito song. My understanding of this, per Blurg's clarification of humor, is that since it is named after an instrument and also sour, it is an unappetizing song. I am still not certain I understand it myself, but it is immaterial. What is important is that it is edible and therefore can help you should you be starving or hurt. Moving on. I actually have some spores of this particular mushroom. It is known as a timusk. The mushroom itself is not very remarkable when harvested. It is only the spores that are the most noteworthy. You see, as a defense mechanism, the timusk will expel spores for one to inhale. The spores then create great confusion with its poison. If it does not cease your existence, it will cause these symptoms to last for 12 hours. So please, do be careful. Although I wouldn't mind studying the effects of such spores on one such as yourself. The next mushroom reminds me of Blurg in a way. The swarming toadstool is often found around large fungi and can grow anywhere it can find some company. I suppose I also relate to it, as I too grow as a scholar wherever I find company. One does not always learn by simply being shut away and reading books. Life experiences are very valuable. But should you come across someone who is not of like minds and wishes to do more harm than good, you could always feast upon their brain, as I do. Did I mention it can also be eaten? No? Well, it can. Also, I thought it would be good to remind you, before we continue, that if you come across a mushroom that appears to have a fuzzy mold, or is perhaps slimy, like the mucus coating upon my skin, and smells strongly of rotten leaves, it would be best that you not ingest it. It has become rotten, and it can make you violently ill for about 10 hours, or poison you to death. Speaking of death, you can find this certain kind of mushroom where bodies are buried. They are relevantly named bone cap, for they are phalanges-like in appearance. They are, however, very acidic, and they are rather foul-tasting, like that of the rot from which they grow. Isn't it interesting how they can attain the same taste of that in which feeds them. Fascinating. Flicking, licking things, pink and flat. You help to utter words, yet people will say, that's quite enough of that. You taste and are used to help intensify a kiss. Well, that is until your lover lets out a hiss. Another of Blurg's interesting sayings. Poetry, I believe he called it. I quite enjoy such things. Apologies. I said that for a reason, as it pertains to the next mushroom in my collection. Tongue of Madness. If you do not want to be caught speaking every thought that pops into your head for the next 30 hours, you had best not eat it. I imagine others would have a very difficult time with that, considering the different thoughts they have. I hear Blurg muttering sometimes, but when I ask him what he has said, he replies, "Oh, nothing." Perhaps I should slip some tongue of madness into his food and see what happens. I believe it goes without saying why this mushroom is called what it is, as it is long and slender, resembling that of an oversized speech organ. And lastly, we come to the renowned noble stalk mushroom. It is very rare, as one must place themselves in great danger to obtain it. It often likes to grow amongst Bibabang flora. Because of this, it is quite valuable. That and its great healing properties. It is also odorless until you break open its fronds, to which you will be greeted by a pungent medicinal aroma. Upon consuming it, you will feel renewed, or so I've heard. Your health increases, and any effects that are negatively impacting you will vanish. It is also rumored to restore memories that have long been lost. The noble stalk is certainly one of my favorite specimens that I have found thus far. What's that? Oh, you are tired and wish to sleep now. Very well. It must be a common occurrence when one has listened to someone talk about mushrooms. I have had many others say the same. Rest well, child of the sun. May your sleep be filled with visions of mushrooms.